clean it up until your internal communication with your twin flame is at the place where it needs to be in order for you to have a healthy union. It's the only place you'll have to communicate. Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to be talking about navigating 3D and 5D connections. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what they mean. The 3D is what's happening in the world, what you perceive with the physical senses in everyday life. The 5D, the spiritual connection, is the deep, unseen connection where telepathy, dreams, and soul recognition happens. But the two are not separate from each other. You don't have to differentiate between the two because the two are always one. You might feel more connected to your twin flame in dreams than in real life. If this is the case, you might be experiencing union in your dreams without the blocks. Well, that's how your union's supposed to be all the time, in real life, without end. They're showing you the divine truth, the true reality of your union, your connection with your one true love. So if you're lucky enough to be having lots of this kind of dreams at the moment, then please fully enjoy them. Really get a taste of what it's like to be together, because they are a preparation. They're letting you know what it's going to be like to be in union with your twin flame. So savour every bit of them and use them. They will show you what your next steps are. If there's any feeling in those dreams that's a little bit unpeaceful, then that's something to work through, that's something to heal through. And as you do, the dream will have given you a little piece that will bring you closer to union. Every twin flame dream is a gift and a blessing. Yeah, and I know it can be really difficult to trust the 5D connection when the 3D connection looks confusing at best, at worst an absolute skip fire. Okay, so what do? I'll tell you. Supposing the outside is telling you very, very potently that you're not getting what you want, and ego consciousness will show you all sorts of things in your reality that will back that up, and it will seem so logical and so straightforward, and it will feel bloody terrible. But what if a tiny little spark in your heart says, yes, this is yours? Who do you trust? Which one do you listen to? Which one is nonsense? Which one has no power? It's the inner spark that's telling the truth, even if it's tiny. Remember, the voice of fear and ego always speaks first, and it always speaks loudest. The voice of love, the voice of peace, always speaks second. And sometimes it's just a whisper, but it's whispering the truth. Listen to the peaceful thought. Didn't William Blake say that he couldn't paint the outside because it was all mortal and perishing stuff? He had to paint what came from within, because that was where the immortal thoughts were. And naturally, even when you're not talking in the 3D, you're always going to be communicating on the high levels, on the 5D. You're not going to be able to stop it. It's a constant 24/7 thing. Absolutely everything, every thought, every emotion, every feeling, good or bad, you're sending over to your twin flame. And that is the energy that's either going to attract your twin flame or repel your union. So if there's unloving thoughts in there, if there's resentments, if there's unhealed stuff, if there's places within that are lacking in love, and there's energy being sent over to your twin flame from a place of upset rather than peace and unconditional love, that's all going to push your twin flame away. So clean it up until your internal communication with your twin flame is at the place where it needs to be in order for you to have a healthy union. It's the only place you'll have to communicate. So work on your internal dialogue with your twin flame. Even more importantly, yourself. If you're thinking unkindly towards yourself, you won't be able to have a happy union, because your twin flame's only going to reflect that back to you amplified. So be kind to yourself, be kind to your twin flame. If there's anything that feels bad, Heal it with a mirror exercise. Bring love to every place within that's needing love. So that's really important. It's an inner journey. You need to go within, and focusing on the 3D circumstances too much will negatively affect your progress on your union. You're looking out there into the world. Once again, you'll be shown all of this evidence from ego consciousness and separation consciousness as to why it can't happen. All these reasons and excuses why it's not happening, it's hopeless, you're wasting your time, you're such a chump. That feels terrible. And that's how you know it's not true. It's not the voice of God telling you that you're a chump. That's the voice of ego. Choose to release all relationship with ego here. Do not listen to the ego bollocks. Don't focus on what your twin flame's doing or what they're not doing or the results that you believe that you should be experiencing right now. If you look at your manifestations to gauge your progress, you're always going to be disappointed because your manifestations are showing you what you manifested earlier. There is no way you can tell how well you're progressing by looking over there at what your twin flame's doing. You know how you're progressing by looking inside, how you feel right now. And that is how you know. Are you feeling shifted, transformed, better inside? That is going to shift, transform, and improve your union. And don't fall into the trap of thinking, oh yeah, I've healed this little bit over here. I'm going to look over there, see if anything's changed with him or her. If you do that, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Bring it all back to yourself. Bring it all back inside. That's where your answers are. That's where the truth is. Your heart knows. Twin flames often go silent in 3D, but remain present in 5D. Well, the reason they go silent sometimes in 3D is because there's a communication block that's come up to be cleared. And once that communication block is cleared, communication will resume. Also, your twin flame might be giving you space in order to go within. If you've been focusing too much on them and not enough on the divine relationship you have with Source, your twin flame's going to get out of the way until you focus back on yourself and your connection to Source love. When communication comes in, it's because the divine brings it. It's not from anything you do to orchestrate it. You just work on clearing the energetic channels in your etheric body and clearing your channel that's your connection to the divine. And that is the channel through which your twin flame comes to you. Of course, they're going to stay present in 5D. They can't leave you in 5D. In truth, they can't leave you at all. You can experience separation, but that's just because of separation consciousness. But once again, the inside is showing you the divine truth, and they can't leave you because they are you. Simple as. So the more you surrender, the easier it will be for the divine to bring you your twin flame. Just trust the divine's plan. The divine's plan is the best way. The divine will bring you your twin flame at the perfect moment when you're ready. Not a moment before or not a moment after. There'll come a point where you'll realize exactly why it took as long as it did and why you needed all that time to have the union that you truly desire. So trust the divine plan. Trust that everything's happening in divine order. And the best thing you can do for that divine order is to take the divinely guided action steps that you're being shown. That's the fastest way to receive all of your good. And on that note, I'll see you in the next video.